Hello everyone, this is Shamsi and welcome to today's video where we'll look through some of the major game changes that have come to Dual Universe since update 0.23. I've had a lot of questions during our streams on Twitch from returning players asking what's changed in the game, so I'm making this video to help those players out who are considering coming back to the game and want an overview of the new systems. Since this video has a rather limited scope in terms of target audience, I'm anticipating that it's not going to do particularly well on YouTube, and so I would really appreciate it if you would interact with the video somehow. Like it, leave a comment, even subscribe, all that good stuff. Right, now there's a lot to talk about, so let's get straight into it. This video is going to be time-stamped and I'm going to be briefly talking through each of the major points. If you are interested in seeing a full guide from me on any of the systems that I want to talk about today, then please let me know in the comments below. If enough of you want to see those videos, I'll invest the time in making them. So, let's go. The first big update to talk about is the territory system itself. We now, as of the Demeter update, have to pay 1 million quanta per tile in taxes per week in order to keep those tiles activated. Now, this is a very contentious issue. A lot of players, including myself, are unhappy with the taxation system, but it's not the end of the world, and there are a few things that I want to talk about with it. First and foremost, just to quickly show you how it works now, if I open my wallet, I can go over to the territories and then top up all of my personal tiles if I want to. As you can see, my sanctuary tile is never going to be taxed, and so if you want to set up a mega factory on a piece of ground that you don't want to have to pay for, my suggestion would be to move your factories onto your territory tile on sanctuary, where they will always be safe, always be active, and never going to be taxed. And here on the left, I can drop down to my organization bar here, and in a similar way top up tiles for any organization that I'm a legate of that I would want to. Now, the other thing to bear in mind is this symbol right here. What does this mean? I have set the tile in which all of my things are as a headquarter tile. That means if the tile ever runs out of taxes, because I've set it as a headquarter tile here, all I have to do is right click and then cancel headquarter or set as headquarter. Even if it runs out of taxes, the mining units on the tile will stop working. The industry that I have set up on the tile will stop working, but the tile itself will always be owned by me and all constructs on it will be safe. So if you want to own a tile and don't particularly want to run industry or mine it, but you want to sit on the beautiful spot on a planet and just build things as much as you want, then you can set the tile as being a headquarter tile, and you can do that with up to 5 tiles per account. So if you have multiple accounts, you can claim more than 5 tiles as a headquarter territory. But again, it's important to note you can't do anything with those tiles in terms of industry work or mining. So if you want to mine a tile and you don't want to pay for it, you can move to sanctuary. If you want to run industry on a tile and you don't want to pay for it, you can move to sanctuary. If you don't want to move to sanctuary and you don't want to pay taxes to run your industry complex, you can move up to space. There is actually no taxes to pay up in space right now. So you can set up a space core and build your factory there, and in some ways that's preferable, given that it will then keep your main tile free of all the lag and performance issues that may come from having a large industry set up. Now, if all of that is simply horrible for you to hear and you still want to own dozens and dozens of tiles and not pay very much for them because you're abusing the way the organization system works in the game, then I'm afraid those times are over. Each tile owned will cost 1 million per week, which is very happily paid for by even the tier 1 ore deposits on any tile, really, with the current ore prices. And I know that NQ are monitoring those prices, and they have people looking at the numbers at this moment in time. Even though that figure of 1 million is galling to a lot of players and is upsetting to even players like me who are generally very positive about the game. I still think if you want to mine the territory, then you can pay for that 1 million, and if you don't want to mine it, then set it as a territory tile. You can't do anything with it, but you can still live there and build your ships there, or whatever you want to do. So the other thing to bear in mind with the territory update is the entire resetting of the terraforming of all the planets. Each planet was crisscrossed with massive labyrinthine networks of tunnels all across the game, and so even if I'm flying from my base here to the market, I would have had to load all of those terraforming changes that have happened along the route, which severely impacted the performance of the game and augmented the cost of running the game for NQ. So all the terraforming has been reset, and now no ore can be found on any territory on any planet with hand mining. The only way to get a piece of ore out of the ground on say Alioth here or any other planet is to place a mining unit and to start mining the pool of available ore in the territory passively over time. To confirm, this pool will never deplete. This tile will, for as long as mining stays this way in the game, be able to produce this amount of ore per hour. Each mining unit I have can claim up to 125 units. So 2 of these will get most of the bauxite, 1 more can get the quartz and the hematite. I'd ignore the coal, and with 4 mining units, which I'd need to calibrate maybe once every 3 days, again to confirm, you won't get any ore out of a mining unit unless it has at least some calibration. So you do need to upkeep your mining units. It's not completely passive. And as of the recording of this video, it is still not possible to apply your talents to the mining units if you're there in a virtual reality drone. And so this is what planet mining looks like now. No more drilling tunnels, but these units. That's not to say that hand mining has disappeared from the game. You still can hand mine, but not on planets. And let's go talk about that right now. This element here is called a DSAT, a Deep Space Asteroid Tracker. It can be fit onto mining units as well, but we've got a public access one here at our bazaar. And so if you want, you can start scanning down asteroids up in space. Now, these are not released all in one go, but the release of the asteroids are staggered over a week, and the asteroids aren't persistent. They get wiped and replaced every week. And so if you want to mine by hand a lot of ore, the amount of asteroids that spawn in the safe zone, so low tier ore, but lots of it, has been increased. And as you can see, I need to have 5 scans here, and the purpose of the public access one is to find the location of already found asteroids. Here there is an uncommon one 46.12 SU away from here, so in the safe zone. Hopefully I can set it as destination and go there, and if there's anything left I can mine it. Alternatively, you can buy your own DSAT or make your own and start scanning. I can see that there are a lot of different asteroids, but there's one here close to Thades, so it'll be in the safe zone. I start tracking that, and if I have a ship that this DSAT is attached to, I can set that as a destination, warp to Thades potentially, then go to this place, and that'll give me the next place I need to go to. I repeat that process 5 times, and I get to find this basic rarity asteroid here near Thades, and then I can mine it at will. DSAT is about 2 million quanta, so not going to break the bank. Buy one, slap it somewhere on your mining ship, and go scan some asteroids down. If you still want to get your DU mining fix, or get a large quantity of ore to get yourself up and running with. Alternatively, you can go and find one of the already discovered asteroids using a public DSAT like what we have here at the Grand Bazaar of the East Alioth Trading Company. I'd like to say that that was staged for the purposes of entertainment, but no, it wasn't. Damn. Right, so While we're looking at destroyed elements here, it's probably a good time to talk about the PvP changes that have come to the game, and they are significant. Gone are the days of massive hulking voxel tanked ships. If you remember our blockade PvP video from ages ago where we went out with AC Atom aboard Waifu's ship the Zealot, those type of ships are still there. You can still tank with voxels, but the PvP stress system now means that after a certain amount of damage is taken by the honeycomb and elements of a ship, the core blows up. And so tanking in the game has shifted away from only being a matter of stacking honeycomb, and in particular gold, silver and copper, and if you were trying to really cheap it out, iron honeycomb, to shields. Now currently there are no size restrictions for shields. You can put a large shield if you can fit it inside an escort or whatever. And what shields do is provide hit points to your ship. This medium shields provide 7.5 million hit points. I can increase or decrease resistances to particular weapon types, and I can start to vent the shield as well in combat. So the shield would go down completely, and it will regenerate 0.5% per second until 50% of its full capacity has been recharged. I can do that once every 4 minutes. Also, if I stop taking damage for about 10 minutes, I believe, the shield will start to regenerate itself passively as well. And so let's show you what a shield looks like. It causes a bubble. I quite like the way it looks, actually. It didn't look this good when it first came out. It is constantly being improved, I feel. So slap the biggest shield that you can afford. Again, to show you, they aren't that expensive anymore. They were when they first came out. So an L shield is about, this is a bit low, it's about 15 million. And an M shield, only about 3.5, 4 million. Now at the same time as the introduction of the shields, the hit points for gold and many other materials fell through the floor relative to its mass. Now gold doesn't provide that much in terms of defense. To show you comparative weight and resistances of silicon here, copper here, also incredibly heavy. What else do I have? Do I have lithium? To show you, lithium here is now one of the best tanking honeycombs there is, simply because it gives so much hit points for so little weight. If you can make a fat ship with lots of layers of honeycomb, lithium is an okay material now. Whereas when I built my ships out of lithium before, it was a bit of a meme because they were paper thin. And my whole defense to PvP was that I would never take it out into a place where I could be shot. But now with shields and with my knowledge of how to evade pirates and people of an unscrupulous nature, I could get away with even taking this, one lithium layer of honeycomb out into PvP space because the main form of PvP defense has changed from honeycomb to shields. Now I'd suggest looking at the damage and range and tracking and so on of any weapon that you would like to use. I'm still very much a fan of railguns myself. And have a look at how they fare now compared to when you had left. But bear in mind, now you are dealing with shields that can have their resistances set dynamically on board by a, warship engineer or whatever. Or more likely the pilot just hopping out and going over to the shields. Another thing that's changed with regards to PvP is docking. Something I call the Marquis Dragon effect is no longer in the game. What one of the biggest streamers of Dual Universe, Marquis Dragon, had to deal with was people logging off alts that they had in abundance onto one of his ships and using that alt to log in from time to time because that character was locked to Marquis' ships. They would find him at markets or go to his base and simply log off on board one of his ships and then log in to track him, put themselves on an intercept vector and kill his ships. That can no longer happen. In order to dock myself to a ship, I need to have docking rights to the ship, and that has to be set through RDMS if I'm not the owner of the ship. So if you find yourself with a maneuver tool trying to dock one ship to another here, you'll see this little red effect saying that I'm not allowed to dock. The way you dock ships to other ships now is by pressing Alt plus T, and as you can see, there's now that red docking symbol or docking indicator, and to release you press Alt plus Y. There you go, and the tether was cut. So parenting has changed. You now need to be able to have rights to dock yourself to somebody else's ship, and also ship docking has changed. It's now much simpler and easier to see. And so things like Neocryptor stealing an artwork somebody had made for me can't happen again. I'd been gifted a voxel art of my face that was accidentally docked onto Neocryptor's ship. He flew away with it and I never saw the thing again. The bastard. And I still want it back. Anywho, the next big thing to talk about is the mission system. They added a whole other avenue of making money in the game, and players, especially those with multiple accounts, made billions. If I place an expanded parcel container anywhere on my base, the game now recognizes this element as a source for a termination of a mission. And I can ask players to say, go to Market 6, pick up a parcel, which I can set. So let's go to my market container here. Go to District 6. What am I not selling? These warp cells. I can package items. I can call it Shamsi's warp cells. Now, a player can go to Market 6, and if I set this item to be a hauling contract to come to this container, I can set a collateral, I can set a reward, and create a mission, a hauling mission here, where I can say retrieve from market, whatever, set it for as long as you want. Now you can only have 3 active ones at any one time, so I wouldn't recommend leaving them up for too long. Alioth District 6, package, Shamsi warp cells, destination, where was it? Causeway of the Gods, expanded parcel container. There we go. This is what I just put down. Not only can I create a mission, I can look for missions. And here we see NPC affiliate missions. If I sort by reward here, I can see that going from Simeon to Jago will net me 9.5 million quanta. I can't warp, I have to slow boat it, but what a lot of players were doing was using all of their alt accounts to accept multiples of this mission. And what one very clever player, a friend of mine, was doing was using 2 pilot characters to go from Simeon to Jago, then Jago to Simeon simultaneously. And at each destination he would log all of his accounts via VR to pick up a mission and then to deliver a mission and pick up the next one. And the ladder has kind of been pulled up for that activity, in that now you can't accept or deliver missions in VR. They've changed that. I don't like that change, and I don't agree with it, simply because people who have multiple accounts, and again, do bear in mind, the multiple account situation is only a beta situation. This won't be the case in the production of version of the game when it goes live. And if it does, if someone has 20 accounts or whatever, they'll have to pay for it. If they were a Sapphire backer and they have that account for free, they've already paid for that account by being a Sapphire backer. And if they want to pay for the development of the game by buying 20 accounts, all power to them. I have nothing against that. What I wished that NQ had done with a mission system, in order to balance it a little, was to severely increase the size and weight of the item that you have to haul. So again, if I go and have a look at this item, I can see that it weighs 1.8 tons and is 400 kiloliters. I would have wanted to see NQ allow me as a single player with a single account. I actually have 4 accounts, soon to be 5 because I want to make a new player guide. But if I only had 1 account, I would simply be able to take the same mission over and over again. So that would level the playing field between a person with multiple accounts and a person with one account. And at the same time, I would significantly increase the weight and the volume of each parcel. So that if I wanted to do 5 of these missions at one time, it would be a lot of effort to try and get that done. And at that point, I'm okay with players making lots and lots of money from the mission system. But this entire system of missioning was one of the main complaints of a lot of cash being injected into the economy of the game, and yeah, the prices of everything going up. So if you want to make quick cash, remember, if you slowboat from Simeon to Jago, you can make 9.5 million quanta. And if you have 10 accounts, that's 95 million quanta per trip. Anywho, the next thing to talk about, and I'm going to have to briefly go through this because I am not an expert by any means. Let me come here to the worm game. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know anything about this stuff. All I know is that it's something to do with computers, and somewhere there's like crap. Somewhere there's a cloud involved. So yes, if you are a coder and you can speak the language of the gods, then know that the technology around the screens have changed. I'm hearing mixed reviews on that. A lot of people I know are really excited about what the new technology is going to allow them to do. And at the same time, a lot of players are really upset, given that the technology that they've used to create amazing and wonderful things in the game is changing. And some of the things that they were able to do before, they now can't. So if you know much about the changes to the LUA screen system, please do let us know down in the comments. This is perhaps the most cop-out thing I've ever done on YouTube, but simply put, I don't know much about it. I'm sorry. If someone can answer, what's changed with the LUA, with the new technology, potentially someone from NQ, I'll ask them if they can come and answer that question in the in a comment in this video. I will pin that comment, and so yeah, do look down in the comments if you're interested in the LUA changes. Another thing to bear in mind is that voxels have changed in terms of the tools that we have available. If I wanted to get rid of voxels before, I would have to alt-click. But we now have negative paste. So to show you a quick example of that, if I want to make a hollow sphere, let's make it out of black carbon fiber. All I'd have to do is get another sphere, a bit smaller. Let's go 4 sizes smaller. Let's actually make life easier for ourselves and get a grid down. So I'm going to draw the largest circle I can here. I'm going to make sure it's centered into the middle of the grid using these coordinate indicators. And I'm going to get the other one that was slightly smaller, align that as well to the middle of the grid. Right here, I'm going to hold down Alt and left click. And now that shape that I was pasting, instead of getting pasted, was negatively pasted. And so the center of the sphere has been hollowed out. And there's a whole bunch of other applications that I'm sure you all can think about. So do look into the changes that have come to the Voxel system, and also bear in mind that the Voxel editor that has long been promised is coming. It is going to be added into the game. So Voxelmancy, I don't know. Some of my friends are saying that it's going to become much easier and less fun, and some of them are saying that it's going to become more accessible and therefore more fun. So I don't know what to make of it. I think I'm going to be using the Vertex editor myself, or more specifically, I'm going to be trying and failing to use the Vertex editor. But the final point I wanted to make was that the tools that we have available for the making of ships have been changed. Now, if you've come here looking for my thoughts on whether or not you should come back to the game, whether it's worth coming back to the game right now, I do apologize in that this wasn't the video for that. I am making that video though. I'm rather taken aback by how successful negative reviews of Dual Universe are on YouTube. There is a lot of negative emotion linked to this game right now. As NQ Pan had said in an interview once, she takes that as a sign that people have strong emotions about this game, which is a good thing. And I'd like to try and think of things in that light. But given all the negativity that has gone on about this game, I feel it's important to talk about, well, why should anyone play this game? What's good about it? And so that is a video that I'm going to be working on now, and hopefully should be coming out from this channel in the not too distant future. So I am 100% certain that I will have missed something important out. I am sorry if I did. Do please let us know in the comments below if I missed anything important, or if there was some discussion you found was lacking in my very quick overview of the changes that have come. And if there are any important things, I will pin your comments so that others can see them. So yes, again, do keep an eye out for pinned messages in the comments below. But otherwise, thank you all for watching, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed this video and have found it useful. Until the next time, that is all from me for now, and bye for now.